those who are unable to join us live can refer this as a resources anytime in the future. Okay, so hello everyone. Okay, hope that you had your dinner, and if you're still having, no worries, we multitask very well. Okay, so today's sharing is about the EB journey. Okay, and then let's see what we have today. So it's being recorded. Rename yourself and open your cam if you are comfortable to do so I don't feel like I'm only talking in front of my screen. Okay, so let's see, a little bit of introduction. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Joey. I am 21 years young. Okay, not very old, still young. Okay, I study food science and tech. Okay, I think it's quite not a very common course. Okay, but it's rising in the coming few years recently as well. Yeah, interesting. That's why I like to ask, like, what's your favorite food? I'm interested to know about it. Okay, I'm currently holding the role as an LCP from Isaac in Sunway. So hello LCP, LC Sunway peeps, welcome, see me again. Okay, and then yes, my favorite food is eggs in any form. And rain or shine, I like soup, hot soup. It's like a comfort food for me. Okay, so that's about me. And then I believe that through this little Zoom call, you can recognize people. Oh, these people like this. Oh, these people don't like this and stuff like that. Okay, right. So before we go into, deep down about the session itself, right? So believe that you guys are on your Zoom, right? If you're using a laptop or iPad, I believe that the annotation function is there on the bar, either below or on top, right? So let's get a little bit of sensing perhaps, right? Okay, so coming into this session, what are you expecting, right? Because we have a focus and the outcome of the session itself, even though it's only 45 minutes. Okay, so to you right now, what's your level of clarity on the EB role on the scale of 1 to 10? So let's see. You guys managed to find the annotate function, the pen icon. Okay, I see a lot of 5, 6, okay, 4. Wow, so colorful. Okay, wow. Circle, stars. 3, 4, 5. Everybody playing safe. So 5 is like the top-notch number. Okay. Around in the middle of the spectrum, I can see. Okay, cool. So remember this. Okay, now let me clear this off so that it doesn't look messy. Clear all drawings. Okay, right. Remember, like the number you put, or even if you did not annotate, right? Remember where you stand. So, oh my god, 6. Okay. Very cute. Okay, cool. We need to go to another one. So we're gonna invest our time 45 minutes together, right? So for yourself, of course, it's only 45 minutes at the end of the day, right? Not going to cover A to Z every single thing, but just a little bit of feeling or expectations for yourself. At the end of this session, what's the clarity that you wish to gain, right? After today, yeah. So just now was around like 3, 4, 5. So how many steps forward you want to go on after today or after this session? Okay. My gallery was blocking my view just now. Okay, so I see a lot of jumps. Okay, skips 5, 6 to like 8 and 9. Okay. It's okay if your clarity is only like 2 to 3, but you want to take baby steps. So moving on to 3 to 4 is fine as well. Okay, 7, 8, 9. Okay, nice. So definitely we want to scale up. Big or small is up to you. But again, remember that feeling that you wish to gain at the end of this session. Okay, thanks everyone for the participation. Okay, so throughout the session, of course, in a virtual setting, right? Then, go back. Okay, so a little bit of Slido. Okay, I think everyone should be quite familiar with Slido, right? So you can use your phone or open up another tab on your laptop or iPad, right? So let's have some interaction on the word cloud first. Okay, so the code is 312269. Okay, so knowing EB role, okay, regardless how clear you are with this, right? What are the positive words that you want to describe the EB role? It's anonymous, okay, so up to your description, and you can put in multiple responses as well. Okay, Okay. Oh, wow, positive word, responsible. Okay. Resilience. Okay. Insightful. Professional. Wow. Okay. PB professional. Chaotic fam. Oh, I like this description. Guiding. Any more? Oh, okay. Professional, suddenly very big. Okay. Connection. Okay. Passionate. Growth. Okay. I think that's growth mindset. Progressive. Lead the impact. Wow, wow. My name there. Okay. Positive. Yay. Okay. Resourceful. Nurturing. Wow. All these macam, those like coach, leading guru kind of words are very positive. Smart. Smart. Okay. High commitment. Okay. We're going there. Okay. Any more? Right? What really attracts you about this EB? Strong why, genuine, facilitator, ownership. Okay. Okay. This is like the Isaac EB dictionary, right? All the words there I can click. Dedicated, privileges. Okay. Maybe perhaps more opportunities. Yes. A step higher. Awesome. Okay. 14K. Let's wait until 20 participants. Okay. 20 responses. Busy. Wow. In caps. Okay. We're going there as well. Cool. Strong will. Okay. So challenging, empowering. Nurturing. Nurturing. No life. Wow. This one. I'm still breathing. Language, I'm still breathing. I think that's life. Or maybe that's not. Okay. Wait. I missed out a few words. Coach. Okay. Is that easy peasy? Oh, it's like guardians. Okay. Hey, I missed out the chat box. Is there anything inside? Okay. Communication flexible. Okay. Like parents. Wow. Like parents. Okay. Maybe elder siblings also. Okay. When I was the member, I see my EBs like elder siblings. Okay. Good, very possible. Agile. Okay. Oh, got more. The balancing. Okay. Yes. Getting there as well. Okay. Awesome. Very positive words that we seldom see it in a first glance. Okay. Let's go back. But yes, meanwhile, you can keep your Slido open. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the Q&A and try to answer it at the end of the, I've allocated some time to answer your questions. Okay. Right. Positive words. But then, right, the first time we don't usually think about the positive words. Okay. I'm not sure. But this was extracted from the form that you guys have filled up. And then I tried to put in like what are the most words or the keywords that I realized. I think it's pretty common for everyone. Consonants on the EB rule. Okay, I think some of the words were also described just now, right? Like about commitment, busy, no life. Yeah. So you can see commitment was a very huge thing here, which I'll try to cover later, right? Not sugar-coated, okay? Not trying to cover anything, but really to talk about like how's the commitment like as an EB, how to overcome it. Okay. There are also some other concerns which is more on the technical part, functional competency, like lack of experience, leadership skills, vision, responsibility. Okay, right. But there are also, I see a lot of personal doubts and fears, which is again normal. Scared not good enough, don't know, no results, stress, workload, still learning. Of course, learning is always a progress. Yeah, that's why I'll try to tackle these little things. Of course, not limited, but what I wish to let you guys know that all these concerns are again valid. That's why you're still here. And Isaac is a platform where like we continue to tackle on our concerns and not avoiding them. Okay, yeah. So if you got any question, can drop it down, okay, later. Right, so this session, right, ultimately is about the EB journey. But EB is so scary. It's like, it's a kind of fearful. When you really want to run for it, I understand that kind of hesitation or unclearness. So rather than talking about the EB journey, okay, let's remove the word EB, okay? I'm going to share a little bit on my journey, right? And then pinpointing some of the significant moments, right? And I hope that from here and there, talk a little bit from my membership experience into director role. If you're currently in MT, then I hope that resonates with you. And in VP, so if you are currently a VP or HOD, maybe you want to reterm or thinking about going for higher role, LCP or whatnot, okay? So I hope that, try to form some connection, resonate it back to your own experience thus far, okay? Right, so what's up in this journey? So of course, joining in Isaac was like everyone, right? I joined as member. But then what was very significant in my first year was this event called Global Village 2019. Okay, so yeah, 2019 was some time ago, right, before COVID-19 happened, right? This was my first technically leading experience in my life. I wasn't a team leader in high school or any school projects or curriculum. In fact, in Isaac, this was not just in Isaac, that was my first team experience, but basically in my life, at that point of time. Literally, I've learned how to lead. So starting from scratch. And at that point of time, I was a member, right? And then hosting this event that has a mix of different people from different departments. So it was a lot of trial and error, right? The significant down point was there were team conflicts. I learned how to not be the good person or take a long time to try to resolve it, and also learn to recognize like how to play along with like different persona in the team. Yeah, literally learning how to lead. And then time goes by, okay. Second significant one was also in 2019, director of OGV. Yeah, so for those who are in OGV, yes, that's my roots, okay, OGV. Yes, but I think what's significant was I was completely new to the function. I wasn't from OGV in my membership background, nor it was my first choice or second choice in my director role. So the first concern was like, why do I question the EBs or the ones who interviewed me then to ask me like, I would rather you failed me, like I would rather stay as a member. Why would you want to put me into a department or a function that I'm not familiar with, that the members are more competent than I am? Yeah, but of course it took some time and adjustment for me to recognize that, okay, Isaac doesn't want me to be perfect, but then rather to nurture me, to improve, or to give me this space to be like, okay, you learn. So why do I say that I've learned how to laugh, right? Because among everyone in the team, right, I learned to recognize that it doesn't mean that just because you're the team leader, you have to know every single bit of it. Honestly, I learned a lot from the team itself, and then we enjoyed and had a lot of fun growing together. Yeah, so that was a new learning for me, and eventually, went through it. Next up, okay, that was 2020 already, 2019 has passed, right? So summer VP OGV, right? So this was my first step into EB role. But drawing back a little bit, right, I would say that the gap to adjust from member to director, which is MT, comparing to MT to EB, member to MT is more difficult. I remember I had difficulties with my commitments. For the first few EBMTMs, right, or the team leader touch points, I wasn't able to make it for 2 consecutive touch points until the team leader had to tell me, Joey, if you're going to skip the next one, you're going to go into probation and I'm going to give you a warning letter. Yeah, she verbally told me that. That's when I realized that, oh, as a team leader itself, right, there are certain commitments I need to be involved. I no longer can just be like touch and go, be a member and just execute the task. Yeah. So, however, because of those training ground in MT, going into the EB role wasn't that much of a difficult, because most of the time as an MT, I will be going around with my EBs already. So when you think about like meetings, touch points, and the amount of time I allocated for Isaac, it's more or less about the same. Yeah. So perhaps this is some tips or expectations for you guys if you're currently an MT, thinking about going for EB role, or if you're currently a member going for EB role. Yeah. So, okay, drawing back here, EB role, I learned a lot on how to let go. Yeah. Even though right now, at that point of time, I was very familiar with the functional things already. Because, right, I had 1 month, 1 peak of experience there in OGV itself. I should be familiar with things, but at the same time, that was the benchmark expectations I set for myself. I forgot that the team was completely different now, right? The challenge was different. 2020, we changed from physical to virtual, right? So it was a lot of crushing moments because I wasn't able to pass through my own barrier to tell myself that it's okay if I'm not able to achieve the results that we initially set. That kind of thing. Yeah. So it was a lot of personal reflection and the challenges to break through own barriers. So learn to let go every time it fails, right? When the team said like, oh, they weren't getting a good team experience, there were resignation and stuff like that. Of course, it's very heartbreaking, I would say, at that moment of time. Now that I think back, yeah, I learned a lot through letting go. And then currently, right, okay, so I was doing this, I was also reflecting like, what about it? Plus LCP role is also an EB role itself. But what's really the difference between my initial EB role as an VP and comparing to now, right? I think this role or going up into EB role generally, right, really challenged me to be vulnerable. Yeah, vulnerable because whether we like it or not, initially I was very resisting towards the fact that, oh, this is my strength. Okay, cool lah, but these are also my weaknesses. But whether we like it or not, consciously or unconsciously, right, it is a reflection upon the team, right? When I see that, why is the team behaving in a certain manner? Oh, and it's a replicating effect. Yeah, because leadership is like a mirror, right? That's when I learned to accept to be vulnerable. I learned to accept that there are certain things that I'm not good enough. There are certain things that like I'm good at, and we can leverage on it. But most importantly, I guess in this role, I learned how to listen. Yeah. And all in all, I am really, really still learning. Yeah. So I think drawing back all these points, right? The journey itself, no matter what role do I go, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, I'm fearless. Okay, I don't have my doubts anymore. Then I go for it. Yeah, no, let me tell you, even up until now, right? I still have my fears in and out of Isaac because being human being, right? Self-doubt is like a natural coping mechanism, I would say, right? Because we are afraid, we don't know, we are uncertain, and we don't like it. Yeah. But rather to see that like, oh, these are my fears, these are my weaknesses. I learned to see that, okay, it's my choice to place myself here in Isaac. So, okay, I face it generously, I face it courageously. Is it difficult? Yes, it will be. But is it very difficult to a point that I can't bear it? No, because there is support system, right? There are people, we always say that it's like a family-like kind of thing. Is it stressful? Yes, if you try to avoid it. Is it stressful to manage? I think that able to improve is better than avoiding it. Yeah. So different people have different form of fears. For me, that my top fears are these, judgments, what will people think about it? Fear of people leaving, people resigning, people saying that, oh, like Isaac is not a suitable platform for me, right? Because being a very natural people-oriented person, I can't help to feel it that way. Unable to deliver results, circumstances, or maybe I'm not that competent yet. For example, in my current role, I'm not only LCP, but also HOD-BD, so double rolling because of some restructuring in the LC, right? But sales and BD isn't my strength. Yes. And that fear is kind of bugging inside. I can tell because it's not my forte. What's the technical skills? So I'm also at the same time learning from scratch and then trying to see where is the team going to about. Yeah. Also feel like, oh, what we have the bad experience to the team, etc. Yeah. But what are my biggest fulfillment thus far going big by? as a member, right, or as director at my early age of Isaac, right, I'll say that I get very fulfilled when I complete a task. You know, your team leader recognize you, hey, you're doing a good job. You know, you complete your PA commitment, you know, those kind of things, and then you get rewarded, right? Simple things, or you created a poster that you know, generate results. Your lead that you generated, someone replied you. You know, these are the little things that makes us happy, right? As an EB, you're going into a team leading role. I think the biggest fulfillment is when your team comes back and tell you that, oh, they are able to execute things outside of Isaac. I think this was a screenshot. Okay, she wants to maintain anonymous. Yeah, but I found it very meaningful. I think that was like the peak of fulfillment, in the sense that, oh, something you gain from Isaac and you're able to improve yourself in other events, right? Or even in your career. Yeah. And that is genuinely very, very happy. Yeah, that's the reason why I see a team leading role or a EB role, not just a role for yourself, but at the same time, you come to express and to expose things to your team to go together. Yeah. Right. So that is a little bit tinged here and there about my journey, okay, and some significant points. Coming back to your point, right? So a lot of the times they say like, oh, why I'm not ready yet. Round 1 didn't apply, round 2 didn't apply, or still thinking. Okay, so it's normal, but what I can say is like, you will never be ready, right? I know it's very cliche. It's just like going on an exam, right? Even if the exam got delayed by 1 week or 1 month, right? You will still say that, oh, why am I ready? I'm never ready. There's so many chapters I haven't studied, blah, 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 right? That's why the application process, you realize that, hey, what's so tedious? You got application booklet, you have the interview, you have the VOC, right? Sometimes in certain situations, right, your LC don't have enough people or the time is very packed already. But why do we still make this as the benchmark? Because that process is to help you to get ready on its own, right? So resources, people are always there, and that's why we have transitioned from your current EB to you potentially. Okay, I hope everyone here apply for EB, right? Hopefully to see your faces on the application package itself, right? So you're not ready yet, okay? That could be something lingering in your mind, okay? But only you know yourself best, right? Pick it down a little bit further. What are still your concerns? And is your concern still a concern, right? Even if you have took an action to do certain things. Okay, so that's a little bit of homework for you to think about it, right? And if you know that even after doing the action, you might not be ready yet. So do you want to just leave it as it is? You want to stay at that point? Or do you want to, okay, move forward? I know that I'm not ready yet, but I'm going to go for it regardless. Yeah. Okay. And second part, which is also you know, the very hot question. EB, very busy, right? Commitment like never ending, right? The meetings like, whoa, no need to sleep, right? EBs do sleep, okay? It's just a matter of hours, okay? But here I'm gonna a little bit of theory, but I'm gonna share with you the Isaac principles of managing. So to give you some concepts and ideas about like what really is the difference between that commitment part, comparing member, MT, and EB role, team leader. Okay, so there are lots of words over here, but let's just focus on the little icons on the right hand side. So you can see that members, right, as mentioned just now, it's a lot of managing yourself. You just take care of yourself. You are being developed to grow independently, your personal values, to get exposure on your technical ends, blah, blah, blah. Okay, on a team leader, you go up one step up. Besides managing yourself, okay, because you're good at managing yourself already, that's why you apply for team leader, right? So you manage others. A team can be diverse, can be big, can be small. Okay, and then after team leader, then it's our, starting there onwards, it's the EB roles. So LCVP or LCP, you can see that it becomes more of managing people, managing managers, and then LCP or MCVP, which is like the quote unquote CEO roles, right? You manage the function, right? Your vision, how you want to maneuver around, what's your strategy, etc. They're of course going up onto the layers of how Isaac works in an organization, right? Then you manage the business in MCP, right? Because now then you oversee different LC, and then AI manages groups. So we have the different regions, that's very big, right? AP region, Euro region, US, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So another part for you to take a little block on the vision is that, right, the higher role that you go, it doesn't mean that like, you have to know everything, but you think of it as like the functional competence versus the managerial competence. As you go to higher ups or into the EB layers, right? The challenge is on managing your team, right? Rather than function. Of course, you still need to have your functional knowledge, right? But who are the real expertise? Who are the specialists? So the specialists are actually the MTs, the team leaders. Yeah. So for director of marketing or project directors, no one is as specialized or as expert as you, right? Even your function, your LCVP, right, may not know on the details, but you are the specialist of that, right? Going into an EB role, this is where you can see. So time-wise, okay, perhaps there are more touch points, right? Not going to lie, compared to just a member where you go in and receive most of the time. But then as a team leader or EB, right, you need to also include this facilitating part. So perhaps more time is being placed on that, right? But from MT to EB is more or less the same, right? Because as you're facilitating, you're also receiving, right? So another part that a lot of concerned people say as well is, oh, why so many meetings? This synergy there, front office, got commission, so many stakeholders to be involved in, right? Then another question that you can ask yourself is, okay, is this meeting, is this touch point really necessary, right? Does it serve a purpose, right? Are the content that you are going to discuss something that both ends, your synergy partner or your discussion group, gets things out from it or not? Or is it just that, oh, we're doing it because past term have this touch point, that's why we're going to continue it, right? So going into an EB role, these are the things that you can design how your experience you want to be, right? Then if you think that it's not efficient, right, then okay, change the way how you want to manage your team. Okay, so just a little bit of pointers here. Okay, and to conclude, I would say, and to wrap up this short session, I would say that leadership is really a practice. What I learned to realize is that placing ourselves in this situation or the challenging environment in Isaac, right, it helps us to build the habits and it changes us. Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult at the start, trying to get used to it. Why suddenly so many roles and things like that? And bear in mind the fact that all of us are first timers. It's your first time being an Isaacer. It's my first time being an LCP. It's also Yang Jun's first time being an MCVP. Yeah. So that is the unique part of it, right? Just keep practicing. For me, I'm not extra talented or what, right? But practice and repetitive process helps me to understand myself more, understand my working style, my team style, and then to learn how to manage it instead of avoiding it. Yeah. So leadership is a choice, right? It's a practice. And so as the EB role. Now that you have EB Academy, probably your LC has things like EB internship or certain touch points, maybe there are lots of active conversations going on in your LC. I'm not too sure, right? But know that it's also a choice for yourself. Gaining all this information, know that no one is really forcing you to say that like, hey, go apply for EB. Hey, you're my successor, this and that. Okay, maybe your team leader might be joking around or things that like you are a very good fit, you are very highly potential. But know that this EB role is a 1-year commitment, right? So it is a choice on your own. If you want to go for it, there are lots of privileges, right? Like the positive side that you guys say. It is like this, yeah. But you have to know as well that there will be challenges posing in front of you, right? So that why and that choice is very important. Like, why do you want this for yourself? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's your own experience, it's your learning. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I missed the chat box. Okay, skipping is a choice as well. That's right. Okay. Okay, so that I hope that sums up the sharing today, and I hope that it touches a few pointers on the clarity, not so much on the technical stuff, right, but more on managing the commitments. So okay, we have around 10 more minutes. Okay, time management is good. Okay, so let me see what other questions that you guys have. Yeah, so one of the practice and learning as well is because you will be facilitating a lot of sessions, right? Team meeting, sessions like these. And at the start, of course, I always go over time. Yeah, that's why as I get more practice, I learn to kind of have a clock in mind. It's like, oh, 5 minutes is how much content that I can say, 10 minutes is whatnot. Yeah. So every time I see that, oh, things are going on time, it's very satisfying. Okay. Okay, let's see what are the Q&As we have. Okay, what made me decide to become EB? Okay, maybe I can share two roles because the reasons were very different. EB for VP, OGV, and also LCP. So reason why I want to become VP OGV is because I trusted the product, right? I was curious. I was curious about like why there are certain things that only EB discuss among themselves. So there was this triggering point. Okay, so in the classroom, then it was after a meeting. So that time I was director, right, in the MT. So the then LCP and the EBs were like, oh, okay, EBs, you got some things to discuss, okay? MTs, you go outside and wait first before we go to eat supper. Yeah, so I don't know if this is a FOMO thing or what, right? But that kind of triggered me like, why so suspicious? Like, why are the things so exclusive only EBs can know? Yeah, so curiosity, and then got to understand the rules. Actually, at that point of time, I didn't know what's the difference between EB and VP. So I went to consult all the function VPs, right? Then only I came to a decision like, oh, okay, I wanted to apply for OGV as my first choice of function. Yeah. So that was my reason for VP. Mostly just curious what EB is like, what VP is like. Yeah. Then for LCP wise is again curious. Curiosity has always been the triggering point for me to go for higher role, right? Inspiring factor comes from my friends who were LCP because I was very amazed by how they think, why are they, why their thought process so different. Yeah, then I curious, I like, why so different? Then okay, then I think about my commitment, then I go for apply. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. To what extent can we let go? To what extent we can let go? Okay, we can let go. For me, the part that I learn most and I'm still learning is boundaries, personal versus work. Yeah. So I learned to let go that sometimes, the comments out there, right? Or what I think people think, a lot of the people side of things. I learned to let go that the things that I cannot control, what is the output? For example, I'll take what's that called? Resignations, for example, right? Will I feel sad? Yes, right. I will think on that myself. Oh, it's because I did not nurture the team well, right? I did not give sufficient space or whatnot ever. This thought process comes in naturally, but it comes in practice. I would say that during my VP term, when my director wanted to resign, it took a long while, like 1 month, 1.5 months to fully recognize that, oh, okay, let go. It's okay that people resign, But right now, when resignation happened, right, it's not to say that I become very like cold-blooded, right? I still feel bad, but rather I learn to let go that sometimes, the other party takes responsibility as well. Yeah. So something that I can share lah. Yeah. In terms of operational side, I would say that going into an EB role, less micromanage, right? I don't do as much of the groundwork anymore, but again, depending on the circumstances, right? For example, my BD team now has a little bit of HR issues, right? So I can't just say that, oh, I'm not going to touch any of the groundwork. No, I still generate leads, I still do my emails, etc. Yeah. So be flexible, play along with it. Okay, a lot of questions. Any hard moment that you have been through when you're in EB role? Okay, hard moments. a lot, right? Hardest moments now that I can think of are team conflicts. Yeah. So when different people have different opinions, or sometimes, you know, you are friends, but at the same time, it's very difficult for you to give comments or feedback to one another. But then Isaac, right? That's why you have team spaces. I learned to be honest, right? And learn to recognize that everyone here in the team wants the best for themselves and each other, and we are mature enough to take those harsh feedback. Yeah. So that was hard. What's the most challenges? What are the most challenges that you face as EP and LCP, and how you overcome it? Okay. A lot of challenges, I would say. To summarize out, people issues. Yeah, might not just be people issue, my issue as well, because I'm also human, right? Because it's very uncertain. How I overcome it, practice, reflect, have my own support system. Yeah. So that's a summary of things. There will be times, right, when I feel that, why we're down, we're doubtful and stuff like that. Think. Okay. I'm thinking as an overthinker, okay, if those of you who are overthinker, right, you will know that thinking sometimes makes you feel very comfortable. I don't know why, but I know that that's not the way out. I'll just be thinking in circles. I need to find my support system to, you know, snap it out like, hey, Joey, wake up already, right? Where are you going? Yeah. That's why I think it's also very unique, because no matter which role you're in, even if you're MCP, MCVP, right, you always have this thing like a team leader, right, to guide you. What will you do as EB if your LC is less competitive than others? Okay, so less competitive. Honestly, I don't see LC as a entity to entity as a competition, because every entity we are growing at a different pace, right? Some might have a history of like 20 years, some only 10 years, some SUs probably like 3 years, right? And then the focuses are very different. But perhaps the competition over here, you can do follow-up question if I'm interpreting it wrongly, is in terms of the market. For example, like your LC might be small, but you're also in central region. So it's being taken, the market space taken a lot by like other LCs. Yeah. So I think what I'll do in that circumstances is like know your market division well, right? Know what's the unique strength of your market proposition. Okay, probably that applies more to partners. But as EB collectively, this vision shouldn't just come from one person. As an EB team, there will be chances and touch point before even you start your term, right? To come together, okay, what do we want to fight for this year? What last term is battling upon might not be something we want to continue this term. You think that last term did very good in this, but it doesn't mean that we want to continue. So as an EB team collectively, that's where you set your vision and then your goal together. Yeah, because again, one term is very short only. We cannot afford to do everything. Yeah, that's also my lesson learned in terms of functional. In my, you know, we have top 3 focuses. When I was VP OGV, right, I tell my VP like 3 not enough, I want 5. Yeah. Then FL, back office, LVP said, okay, you do. Yeah. Then burn out everything. Yeah. So it's a lesson learned now, right? So that's a bit of tip. I'm interested in more than one function, so I don't know what to apply. Wow, okay. So I think I don't know if LCP is your function of choice or not, right? But if you're thinking about VP, then I would say that, okay, your LC is very privileged to have you who has a versatile profile, right? Know that the function that you apply may not be what you get at the end of the day, right? Because as we said, EB is working collectively in a team. If you have 2 very similar profile, and there needs to be a split up depending how your LCP would arrange for you guys, right? And perhaps something you can ask yourself is, do you want to learn something that you never tried before? Or do you want to try out brush out on the technical skills that something you have been familiar with already? Yeah, because that would I would say differentiate, yeah, maybe how you want to eliminate what function to apply lah. Yeah, but most importantly, just remember that like you apply for EB, not for VP. Yeah, functional part is only like what 20% of the whole application lah. Yeah. Is there ever come to your EB journey you regret taking this role? Yeah, regrets are like when things are very tired, when I overplayed myself, a lot of commitments, I'll be like, oh, why? Yeah, I can tell you for this LTP role, it just happened 2 days ago. Yeah, so I was feeling very down, right? Because there were lots of things, but I can tell you that no matter what role I'm in, right, it's a normal process, right? It's just like when you go to work, you can be positive about things, but there will be times when you feel like at the edge of burning out. So what I did, okay, don't laugh at me, okay, I look back at my application package, I go read upon it, then I see that, okay, kind of reflect back to see that there's a reason why am I still here, so give a little booster for myself. Yeah, so back to the point now, as I say that no one is perfect, even myself. I chose to practice it rather than avoiding it. It's very easy to give up, I would say, because it's difficult. It's going to be difficult. That's why it trains you to be resilient. Okay. What is the difference between EB and VP? Okay, this is something you have to figure out, okay, more or less yourself, okay, right? But what I can, because it's a part of the interview challenge, okay, but what I can share now is EB Executive Board is a collective of different expertise of VPs coming together. As a EB Executive Board, we are making decisions for the organization, right? You are the highest guardian or anyone that takes care how this LC vision, how the culture will be like. Okay, VP, in very simple terms, think of it, you are the expertise, you are the specialized of your function, like your PM, your FL, OGV, like are you the most expertise in youth market or partnership, etc. Okay, so that's VP. How do you manage studies? Isaac, as a biology major, I'm a biology major too. Okay, I think my course doesn't have that much of biology, okay, but it's food science, so got touched a bit of bio as well, but science background. I would say that during my, I can't really say much for my VP term because that time I wasn't studying. I took a break from studies. Yeah, not because of Isaac, but because COVID. Yes. But I can share with you my experience right now. LCP and studies is know what is the end outcome that I want to get. Yeah, so be very strategic on my time. For example, I know that, oh, this time, this deadline and Isaac peak. Okay, what do I want to strive for? So I'm conscious about my scores and marks because I know that I'm not at that tier to what? I'm not the 3.6, 3.7 kind of student. So my goal is 3.5. Yeah. So to me, right, I'll be conscious about it. Okay, this coursework, how many marks I want to score, exams, how much effort they want to put in. So know my strengths, and at the same time have good group mates. Yeah, especially presentation. Yeah. Is project director considered as EB? Project director, IGV director. Okay, IGV director, I think in director in any sense is TL, team leader, or the management team. Yeah, EB team usually consists of VP and LCP. Okay, some LCs I know do consider HOD department as EB, some LCs not. Okay, so check back with your own LC, I think. Transition from FO to BO mindset. Okay, this is rather very interesting one. I'll say that the foundation helps. Being in the front office, then going to big office helps me to zoom out more, able to connect the dots from like how front officers work. Yeah, if I go straight to back office, then back office, if that was my background, then I will need some time to catch upon on the front office things lah. Yeah, but was it difficult? Not really. Yeah, in fact, I enjoyed it. Yeah, now initially when I wasn't exposed to BO, right, I was very much into FO. So at that point of time, I think that my career mindset was like, oh, I want to do marketing, I do sales, I want to go up front because very extroverted. But after being exposed to VO, right, I feel like, actually it's fun also, right? I like to analyze things. I like to be a back-end support also. Yeah. So it's a journey on its own. Okay. Liang Jun, Isaac's usually score and presentation. Okay. I know we're like 4 minutes behind time, but there are still questions. So if you are in a rush of time or what is okay, I will answer until 8:52. Okay. And then the rest, you can contact me, okay? Or I will type it down depending how Liang Jun decides to release the session. Okay. Okay, where were we? What are the best things that we can only get in Isaac, not in other clubs or societies? Okay, I did join other clubs and societies as well, before Isaac or at the start when I was a member. Something different is really an organization. Yeah, it works like a business, and then it's not just a one-time touch and go thing. For my club and society experience, it was mostly event-based, right? Not to say that I did not gain friendship, network, or skills there. But what's unique is Isaac really facilitates our journey, right? Make us know that why do we have O2O every month? Why do we have team facilitation? Everything is very systematic, and we are kind of in this program, or you can call it like leadership tuition. Okay, Malaysian, right? We go tuition. Yeah. So it's much more facilitated. And when I go out on that or leave Isaac, that is something that I will remember, because the habit and the values that I have practiced all this while has been inherited in me, right? And when I go out there, I will naturally know, oh, reflection process. I will know, oh, how to overcome, because we do that a lot in Isaac. It might seem redundant, but when we remove Isaac out, right, you feel like, oh, you're grown. Yeah, probably that's something I don't get in other clubs and societies lah. Yeah, but again, it's just from my personal experience. You might get that from your own clubs and societies. How to avoid overthinking? Okay, I can't avoid overthinking. Sometimes I could just be standing and then I start to think. Yes, it's a natural sense of thing, but I have people around me, or I'm aware about my red flags. Yeah. So this also coming into EB role, because there are more problems you face, more people you meet. So I know what are my styles, what are my boundaries, what are my red flags. So I know that I will tell my team, oh, if I start to reply very late, it means that Joey might be, in a red flag zone. Then they will notice. And they'll know that, okay, then they'll kind of text me, hey, Joey, this one done already or not? Are you okay? And things like that. So having a very assured support system, right, would allow me to always come back and not just think on my own, but come back. Yes. Okay, last question now. Okay. How do you look at applying for higher role aligning with your career path? Okay. My career path. I'm from a food science background, and for my career, it's going to be in the food science industry as well. As for now, I don't have the intention to change my industry, right? Rather, I see higher role as an exposure. Yeah. So EB role allows me to see how to manage a team, right? How to manage specialists, especially, right? So in VP OGB, you have sales and CXP, director of marketing, right? Each of them have like different JD. So I learned how to deal with different stakeholders, learn to work in a big team. In LCP role in EB, I learned to have a big view on how to manage function, how to work with national side, what does direction alignment mean, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's very indirect, at least for my case. I know if you come from maybe business background or consulting, it might be something very direct in terms of the JD. So for me, it's more on the view and perspective. But also another point, because there are different roles, right? I learned to recognize what are some parts that I don't like, some repetitive job I really don't like, or some of the areas that I find it very easy for me to do it. That could be my strength. So figuring that out, right, when I go to interviews, or like as for right now, when I'm selecting my internship, I am clearer in terms of like what's the JD that I want to try out, what's the environment that fits me. Okay, right. So I think, yeah, 1, 2, 3, okay, 3 questions due to the lack of time a little bit. Okay, I think I'll reply in terms of either I edit into the slides or see how the session output is like. Okay, but still, thank you so much for the questions. I hope it helps you to answer, helps answer you and clear up your doubts. Okay, so as usual, okay, so want to hear from you before we go to the next session, which is next week. Okay, not delivered by me anymore. Also 8 o'clock to 8:45. Okay, if you are unable to scan, let me send the link for you as well.